Personal protective equipment, which we abbreviate to PPE, is the last line of defence to keep you safe from risks in the workplace. PPE for farm workers is something we all know we should use, but often we don't for whatever reason. It's too hard, it's too hot, we can't be bothered, or we don't know what to wear and when. It may seem like you need to dress like this every day, but you just need to make sure you're wearing the correct PPE for the job at task. So let's explore one of the simplest things which can save you from injury. Starting at the top of the body, we use head protection. If you're working where something could fall from above, wearing a hard hat is smart and necessary. Many fatal accidents on farm are a result of motorbike or quad bike riders not wearing a helmet. Wearing a helmet will significantly improve your chances of surviving crashes, rollovers and other incidents. Many agricultural workers spend a lot of time outdoors, so it's important that you are dressed according to the weather conditions. Wearing wide-brimmed or Legionnaire hats will provide a level of protection from the sun and UV, but it's still important to apply SPF 50+ sunscreen underneath your hat. UV can also damage your eyes, so wearing UV sunglasses that are a wraparound style is recommended, as UV can enter the side of your eye too. Remember to apply SPF 50+ sunscreen to all exposed areas of your skin. Do it every 2 hours, even on overcast days. It is also recommended to wear light, breathable clothing with full-length sleeves and legs on hot days, as it will offer much better protection from the sun than just wearing sunscreen. On cold days, wearing a beanie or something warm on your head is a good idea. This is because on cold days, your body is usually fully clothed, keeping you warm. But if your head is exposed, the heat will escape through it. Hearing protection is another important part of PPE, which is often not used when it should be. Short exposure might be okay from time to time, but prolonged exposure leaves you at risk to lifelong hearing damage. And exposure to sudden high decibel noises, such as firing a shotgun, can cause instant damage, so wearing protection is essential every single time. There are two main types of hearing protection: earmuffs and earplugs. Earmuffs, like headphones, cover the ear and are simply put over your head, so they're easy to take on and off. This makes them ideal for intermittent use. Earplugs are designed to go directly into the ear canal, so they offer a higher level of noise protection than earmuffs. They can be a little tricky to fit correctly, but it is important that this is done properly, otherwise they won't protect you from noise. Just roll them between your fingers, pull back the ear and insert it into the ear canal and wait for the plug to expand. Eye protection is vital. The smallest thing going into your eye can cause irreparable damage. Everyone knows how irritating a speck of dust in the eye can be. Imagine if that was something more damaging, like a chemical splash, welding flash, a spark from an angle grinder, or a piece of debris flying into your eye. Imagine a nail from a nail gun or a piece of shattered grinding disc hitting your eye. Wearing safety glasses will stop most things from entering your eye. Goggles provide additional protection at the side of the face, and a face mask will provide full face protection. Wearing respiratory protection is extremely important, otherwise harmful particles such as dust, pollens and chemical fumes can enter your system, which can then turn into things such as asthma, COPD or other illnesses. Exposure to asbestos fibres or cutting crystalline silica can lead to terminal illnesses such as asbestosis, mesothelioma or silicosis. Even though you should test the atmosphere before entering a confined space, you should also wear a mask while working to avoid the risk of a contaminated atmosphere. From disposable dust masks to a full breathing apparatus, selecting the right protection and wearing it properly is essential. Respirators are less effective if they can't achieve a good seal on the skin, so facial hair like sideburns or beards can reduce the effectiveness. Just make sure there's a good seal over the bridge of the nose, around the side of the face and under the chin. We use our hands for almost everything, so it's vital to keep them safe. Gloves designed to protect from heat are not going to offer good protection to chemicals and vice versa, so make sure you know what risks you are going to be exposed to and select the appropriate gloves for the task. At the other end of the body is your feet. Boots with anti-slip soles and toe protection such as steel or composite caps are highly recommended for ag workers, but if you're mixing or using chemicals, the boots will need to be chemical resistant, as if a spill occurs, other boots may disintegrate, resulting in chemical burns. In addition to gloves, goggles, boots and respiratory protection, you should also wear a disposable or protective apron to reduce the risk of chemicals splashing on you and your clothing. When you work around moving vehicles and machinery, it is important to be seen, so wearing high visibility clothing is common sense. Be sure to consider replacing your high visibility clothing once every year as they fade over time and when they're washed, making them less noticeable. If you're working in low light, you must ensure that your high visibility clothing has reflective markings on it as well. Last but not least, we need to mention fall protection. If you're working where there's a risk of falling from a height, make sure you've had some training on how to work safely, have a plan in place, and wear the right PPE, such as a full arrest harness. There's a lot of different PPE in the workplace, so think about what job you're doing and what could go wrong. Then choose the appropriate PPE to look after yourself. Your employer will make sure you've got what you need, but it's up to you to use it and to use it properly. So keep safe, keep farming.